We have to ensure that the benefit of MSP reaches farmers in all parts of the country.
Mr. Jaitley, if you want to, you can sit and then...
Thank you, madam. I'll do that.
Yeah.
We will have to ensure that the benefit of the MSP reaches the farmers in all parts of the country. 3 specific initiatives will be taken up in 2016-17 for this. First, the remaining states will be encouraged to take up decentralized procurement. Second, an online procurement system will be undertaken through the Food Corporation of India. This will usher in transparency, convenience to the farmers through a prior registration and monitoring of actual requirement. Third, effective arrangements have been made for pulses procurement. Farmers also take up other allied activities to supplement their farm income. To make dairy more remunerative to the farmers, 4 new projects will be taken up. First, the Pashudan Sanjeevani and Animal Welfare Wellness Program and a provision for the Animal Health Card, Nakul Swasthya Patra. Second, an advanced breeding technology. Third, creation of e-Pashudan Hut, an e-marketing portal for connecting breeders and farmers. And fourth, a national geomic center for indigenous breeds. These projects will be implemented at a cost of rupees 850 crores over the next few years. There has been a visible rise in the yield of honey from an average of 18 to 20 kilometers per box per annum in the year 2013-14 to 25 kilograms per box per annum in 2015-16. The total production of honey in the country has been increased from 76,150 metric tons in 14-15 to 86,500 metric tons. 90% of domestic honey is now exported. Rural area. After agriculture, I turn to the other segment, the rural economy. A sum of rupees 2.87 lakh crores will be given as grant in aid to the Gram Panchayats and municipalities as per the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission. This is a quantum jump of 228% compared to the previous 5 years. The funds now allocated will translate to an average assistance of over rupees 80 lakhs per Gram Panchayat and rupees 21 crore per local urban body. These enhanced allocations are capable of transforming villages and small towns. Ministry of Panchayat Raj will work with the states and involving guidelines to actualize this. There is an urgent need to focus on areas of drought and rural distress. Every block in these distressed areas will be taken up as an intensive block under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya mission. Formation of self-help groups will be speeded to promote multiple livelihood. Cluster facilitation teams will be set up under MG Naregas to ensure water conservation and natural resource management. These instincts would also be taken up on a priority basis under the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sechai Yojana. A sum of rupees 38,500 crores has been allocated for Manrega in 2016-17. Madam, if this total amount is spent, this will be the highest ever amount spent in a year on Manrega. 300 Rurban clusters will be developed under the Shama Prasad Mukherjee Rurban mission launched by the Honorable Prime Minister recently. These clusters will include incubate growth centers in rural areas by providing infrastructural amenities and market access for farmers. These will also expand employment opportunities for the youth. As of 1st April 2015, a total of 18,542 villages were not electrified. The Honorable Prime Minister, in his address to the nation on 15th August 2015, announced that the remaining villages will be electrified in the next 1,000 days. As on 23rd February 2016, 5,542 villages have been electrified. I think the Power Minister and the Ministry deserves to be congratulated for this. This is more than the total combined achievement of the previous 3 years. The government is committed to achieve 100% village electrification by 1st May 2018. Rupees 8,500 crores has been provided for the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana and integrated power development schemes. Swachh Bharat Mission is India's biggest drive to improve sanitation and cleanliness, especially in rural India. This subject was very close to the heart of the father of the nation. For the first time since independence, the Parliament has had a comprehensive debate on sanitation. This has become a topic of discussion in almost every home. We have introduced ranking of urban areas in sanitation, which has resulted in constructive competition along towns and cities. Rupees 9,000 crores has been provided for the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. In order to continue this momentum, priority allocation from the centrally sponsored scheme will be made to reward villages that have become free from open defecation. We need to derive greater benefit from the demographic advantage. We need to spread digital literacy in rural areas. Of the 16.8 crore rural households, as many as 12 crore households do not have computers and are unlikely to have digitally literate people. We have approved 2 schemes to promote digital literacy: National Digital Literacy Mission and Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. We now plan to launch the Digital Literacy Mission scheme for rural India to cover around 6 crore additional households in the next 3 years. Details of this scheme will be spelled out separately. Modernization of land records is critical for dispute-free titles. The National Land Record Modernization Program has been revamped under the Digital India initiative and will be implemented as a central sector scheme with effect from 1st April 2016. The revamped program will be built and an integrated land transformation management system. 150 crores has been provided for this purpose. Panchayat Raj institutions need to develop governance capabilities to deliver sustainable goals. It has therefore been proposed to launch a new restructured scheme, namely the Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan, for which rupees 655 crore has been set aside. For rural development as a whole, I have allocated rupees 87,765 crores in this budget. Madam, may I continue sitting down?
Right. Stand.
Social sector, including healthcare. When asked what he intends doing for regeneration of India, Swami Vivekananda had said, no amount of politics would be of avail until the masses in India are well educated, well fed, and well cared for. I now proceed to present the key element of my proposal in the social sector. In our country, cooking gas cylinders were considered an upper middle class luxury. Gradually, it spread to the middle class, but the poor do not have access to cooking gas. Women of India have faced the curse of smoke during the process of cooking. According to the experts, having an open fire in the kitchen is like burning 400 cigarettes in an hour. Time has come to remedy this situation. We have decided to embark upon a massive mission to provide an LPG connection in the name of women members of poor households. I have set aside a sum of rupees 2,000 crore in this year's budget to meet the initial cost of providing these LPG connections. This would benefit about 1 crore 50 lakh households below the poverty line in the year 2016-17. The scheme will continue for at least 2 more years to cover a total of 5 crore BPS households. This will ensure universal coverage of cooking gas in the country. This measure will empower women and protect their health. It will reduce drudgery and time spent on cooking. It will also provide employment for rural youth in the supply chain of cooking gas. I want to take this opportunity to express our gratitude and appreciation of 75 lakh middle class and lower middle class households who have voluntarily given up their cooking gas subsidy in response to a call given by the Prime Minister. Their gesture is a matter of pride for the country. Catastrophic health events are the single most important cause of unforeseen, out-of-pocket expenditure, which pushes lakhs of households below the poverty line every year. Serious illness of family members causes severe stress on financial circumstances of poor and economic weaker families, shaking the foundations of economic security. In order to help such families, the government will launch a new health protection scheme which will provide health cover up to rupees 1 lakh per family. For senior citizens of the age of 60 and above belonging to this category, an additional top-up package of rupees 30,000 will be provided. Quality medicines, making quality medicines available at an affordable price has been a key challenge. This will reinvigorate the supply of generic drugs. 3,000 stores under the Prime Minister Jan Aushadhi Yojana will be opened during 2016-17. Almost 2.2 lakh new patients of end-stage renal diseases get added in India every year, resulting in an additional demand for 3.4 crore dialysis sessions. With approximately 4,950 dialysis centers in India, largely in the private sector, concentrated in major towns, the demand is only half met. Each dialysis session costs around rupees 2,000, an annual expenditure of more than rupees 3 lakhs. Besides, most families have to undertake frequent trips for long distance to access dialysis services, incurring heavy travel costs and low wages. To address this situation, I propose to start a national dialysis service program. Funds will be made available through a PPP mode under the National Health Mission to provide dialysis service in all district hospitals. To reduce cost, I propose to exempt certain parts of dialysis equipment from basic customs duty, excise CVD and SAD. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe entrepreneurs are beginning to show great promise in starting and running. The Prime Minister has given I am happy to inform you that the Union Cabinet has approved the Stand Up India scheme to promote entrepreneurship amongst SC, ST and women. 500 crores has been provided for this purpose. The scheme will facilitate at least 2 such projects per bank branch, 1 in each category of entrepreneur. This will benefit at least 2.5 lakh entrepreneurs in this category. We are celebrating the 125th birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. This must become the year of the economic empowerment for SC, ST entrepreneurs. We have extensively interacted with Dalit India Chamber of Commerce and Industry on building an entrepreneurship ecosystem. It is proposed to constitute a national scheduled caste and scheduled tribe hub in the MSME ministry in partnership with industry associations. This hub will provide a professional support to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe entrepreneurs to fulfill the obligations under the central government procurement policy, adopting best practices and leverage the stand-up initiative. The scheme for welfare and skill development of minorities, such as multi-sectoral development program and Ustad, shall be implemented effectively. Education, skills and job creation. I would now like to highlight the steps proposed to be undertaken under the education, skill development and job creation, which is the 4th pillar of my budget proposals. After universalization of primary education through the country, we want to take the next big step forward by focusing on quality education. An increasing share of allocation under the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan will be allocated. Further, 62 new Navodaya Vidyalayas will be opened in the remaining uncovered districts over the next 2 years. It is our commitment to empower higher educational institutions to help them to become world-class teaching and research institutions. An enabling regulatory architecture will be provided to 10 public and 10 private institutions to emerge as world-class teaching and research institutions. This will enhance affordable access to quality education for ordinary Indians. A detailed scheme will be formulated. We have decided to set up a higher education financing agency with an initial capital base of rupees 1,000 crores. The HEFA will be a not-for-profit organization that will leverage funds for the market and supplement them with donations and CSR funds. These funds will be used to finance improvements in infrastructure in our top institutions and will be serviced through internal accruals. To help students, higher educational institutions and employees to access degree certificates of candidates, it is proposed to establish a digital depository for school leaving certificates, college degrees, academic awards and mark sheets on the Passion of Securities Depository. This will help to validate their authenticity, safe storage and easy retrieval. Skill development. Skill India mission seeks to capitalize our demographic advantages. Since its launch, the National Skill Development Mission has created an elaborate skilling ecosystem and imparted training of 76 lakh youth. We want to bring entrepreneurship at the doorstep of youth through the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. We have decided to set up 1,500 multi-skill training institutes across the country. I am setting aside an amount of rupees 1,700 crores for this initiative. We have decided to set up a national board for skill development certificate in partnership with industry and academia. We propose to further scale up the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana to skill 1 crore youth over the next 3 years. Entrepreneurship education and training will be provided in 2,200 colleges, 300 schools, 500 government and ITIs, and 50 vocational training centers through a massive open online courses. Aspiring entrepreneurs, particularly from those remote parts of the country, will become connected to mentors and credit markers. Job creation. In order to incentivize creation of new jobs in the formal sector, the government will pay the Employees Pension Fund contribution of 8.33% for all new employees enrolling in EPFO for the first 3 years of their employment. This will incentivize employers to recruit unemployed persons and also bring them into the books, the informal employees. In order to channelize this intervention towards target groups of semi-skilled and unskilled workers, the scheme will be applicable to those with salary up to rupees 15,000 per month. I have made a budget provision of rupees 1,000 crore in this scheme. Further, Finance Bill 2016 proposes to broaden and liberalize the scope of employment generation incentives available under Section 80JJAA of the Income Tax Act. The deduction will be available not only to assessees deriving income from manufacturing of goods in a factory, but all assessees who are subject to statutory audit under this Act. Thus, a deduction of 30% of the emoluments paid to such employees can be claimed for 3 years. The minimum number of days for which they should be employed during the year is proposed to be reduced from 300 to 240. No deduction, however, will be admissible in respect of employees whose monthly emoluments exceed rupees 25,000. Also, no deduction will be admissible in respect of employees for whom the government is paying the entire EPS contribution. A national career service was launched in July 2015. Already 35 million job seekers have registered on this platform. We propose to make 100 model career centers operational by the end of 2016-17. We also propose to interlink state employment exchanges with national career service platform. Retail trade is the largest service sector employer in the country. Many more jobs are created in this sector provided the regulations are simplified. If shopping malls are kept open all 7 days of the week, why not small and medium shops? These shops should be given a choice to remain open on all 7 days of the week on voluntary basis. The interest of workers in terms of mandatory weekly holiday, number of working hours per day, of course, has to be protected. We propose to circulate a model shops and establishment bill which can be adopted by the state governments on a voluntary basis. 5. Infrastructure and investment. The fifth strong support pillar of this budget is to transform India is infrastructure and investment. In the road sector, there were more than 70 projects that were languishing at the beginning of the year due to legacy factors. Aggregate length of these projects was about 8,300 kilometers, involving 1 lakh crore investment. With exemplary and proactive intervention under the leadership of my colleague Shri Gadkari, nearly 85% of these projects have been put back on track. India's highest ever kilometers of new highways were awarded in 2015. At the same time, India's highest ever production of motor vehicles was achieved in 2015. This is a sign of growth of the economy, but it presents a challenge also. Therefore, we have speeded up the process of road construction. I have proposed to allocate a sum of rupees 55,000 crores in the budget for roads and highways. This will be further topped up by an additional 15,000 to be raised by the NHAI through bonds. Thus, the total investment in the road sector, including the Rural Gram Sadak Yojana allocation, would be rupees 97,000 crores during 2016-17. Together with the capital expenditure on railways, which Shri Suresh Prabhu has announced a few days ago, the total outlay on roads and rail in 2016-17 will be a mammoth 2,18,000 crores. We further expect to approve nearly 10,000 kilometers of national highways in 2016-17. This will be much higher than the 2 previous years. The pace of completion of road projects will also rise to 10,000 kilometers in 2016-17. In addition, nearly 50,000 kilometers of state highway will also be taken up for upgradation as national highway. The total outlay for infrastructure in the budget estimates of 2016-17 now stands at rupees 2,21,246 crores. Madam, this is an important announcement. Passenger traffic on our roads has been made more efficient for the benefit of the common man and the middle class. This is a totally unreformed sector which suffers from several impediments. Abolition of permit Raj will be our medium-term goal. Government will enact necessary amendments in the Motor Vehicles Act and open up the road transport sector in the passenger segment. An enabling ecosystem which will provide for the which will be provided for the states which will have a choice of adopting the new legal framework. Entrepreneurs will be able to operate buses on various routes subject to efficiency and safety norms. The major benefit of this game-changing initiative will be the provision for a more efficient public transport facilities, greater public convenience, new investments in moribund sectors, creation of new jobs for our youth, growth of startup entrepreneurs, and other multiplier effects. These measures will take us faster down the road to development. In 2015, India's major ports have handled the highest ever quality of cargo. We have also added the highest ever capacity in major ports. We have started a series of measures for modernizing ports and increasing their efficacy. The Sagarmala project has already been rolled out. We are planning to develop new greenfield ports both in the eastern and western coasts of India. The work of the national waterways is already being expedited. Rupees 800 crores has been provided for this initiative. In civil aviation sector, the government is drawing up an action plan for revival of unserved and underserved airports. There are 160 airports and airstrips with state governments which can be revived at an indicative cost of rupees 50 to 100 crores each. We will partner with the state governments to develop some of these airports for regional connectivity. Similarly, 10 out of the 25 non-functional airstrips with the Airport Authority of India will also be developed. Another major announcement. India is blessed with rich natural resources, including oil and gas. However, their discovery and exploitation has been below our potential. Imports of hydrocarbons occupy a larger share of India's imports. There is a situation of rising demand, near stagnation in production, and consequent rapid increase in imports. As a part of our drive towards self-sufficiency, the government is considering to incentivize gas production from deep sea, ultra-deep water, and high-pressure, high-temperature areas, which are presently not exploited on account of higher costs and higher risk. A proposal is under consideration for new discoveries and areas which are yet to commence production. First, to provide calibrated market freedom, and second, to do so at a predetermined ceiling price to be discovered on the principle of landed price of alternate fuels. This will bring considerable amount investment in this segment. In the other segment of infrastructure, our government has achieved the highest coal production growth in over 2 decades, highest ever capacity in addition in generation, highest ever increase in transmission lines and in distribution of LED bulbs. In the power sector, we need to diversify the resources of power generation for long-term stability. The government is drawing up a comprehensive plan spanning over 15 to 20 years to augment investment in nuclear power generation. Budgetary allocation up to rupees 3,000 crore per annum, together with public sector investment, will be leveraged to facilitate the required investment for this purpose. To augment infrastructure spending further, government will permit mobilization of additional finances up to rupees 31,300 by the NHAI, PFC, REC, ERIDA, NABARD and Inland Water Authority through raising of bonds during 16-17.